Hello and welcome back to the Impression Wiz channel. I'm your host, the Impression Wiz. And today, since it's been asked of me on my Musical.ly, I'm going to do the first of many impression tutorials. And today is going to be a very basic one. Basically like the bare basics of how to even learn how to do one. At least how I do. And how a lot of people do. I'm just going to kind of explain like some of the thought processes behind them and kind of the steps that a lot of people that do voice impressions do to perfect them. So the first step, and this is the very basic first step, is to basically come up with a character or think of one of your favorite characters to do. Or that you would want to do. A favorite character or some character that kind of... how do I explain this? That means a lot to you. Because if it means a lot to you, you could probably embody the character a lot more than if it's something that you do have no care whatsoever to even do. It has to mean a lot to you, at least. At least enough that you want to almost embody this character. Vocally. And this actually brings me to step 2. Some cosplayers actually do some voice impressions too, I know that. And I think cosplaying does kind of help because it helps you get into character up here, physically, mentally. So the second step is to get into character. Even if you're not going to do the voice yet, try to get into the mindset of the character. Because if you get into the mindset of the character, it'll help you figure out how the character should sound. Now we're getting into actually doing the voice. The first part of the voice, or step 3, is to listen to it over and over and over. And yeah, it might get boring after a while, but that's why you need to find a good character that you can embody and that you like. If a character that you won't have an issue watching over and over and over and over. Because the more you watch over and over, you pick up the little mannerisms, you listen to how they would talk in certain situations, and in the end, it'll help you pick up the voice. Because also watching the character, something I do personally, is when it comes to certain characters, like if I can see their mouth moving, I will mimic how their mouth moves as they're talking to try and talk myself. A good example is like Peter Griffin. He seems to talk out of the side of his mouth a lot. I know that's not the best Peter Griffin, but bear with me. It sounds like he's talking out of the side of his mouth. And I'm sure the voice actor actually is. But if you have like a physical person that you can watch their lips and their mouth, or even their hand gestures, it will help you pick up the character. It will help you ingrain certain things into your mind of how the character acts. The fourth thing is, while you're watching over and over and over, you start practicing along with it. And honestly, the fourth step is kind of the last step, but it's a pretty important one as well. And I know it's kind of cliched, but practice does make perfect. Basically, it's just over and over and over, practicing along with it. Practice whenever you can. You'll see a lot of my better impressions are the ones that I have probably practiced the longest. Like, okay, my oldest impression that I can do is Mario. And he's the oldest and probably the better of any of them because I've had a lot of time to practice with him and practice doing the voice a lot. And I did go through all these steps. I played the games a lot. He's a hero. I felt like I'd embody someone like him a lot. He's a goofball. That's an Italian goofball. I'm not Italian, but I could get into the whole being a goofball and being a good guy. I felt that I could personify that pretty well in myself. Like I said, I played the games and listened to his voice over and over and over and over again. He's one of my favorite characters from any of the Nintendo games, so I did not have any issues hearing his voice over and over and over again. And I started doing the voice along with him, and I watched his mannerisms and whatnot. Any iteration of him, I have watched the mannerisms. And I practiced over and over and over. And that is how I can be Mario now. For you. Hello. And it's not easy. But you just gotta set your mind to it. I hope for any of those that are looking to do voice impressions that this has helped you. And please stay tuned because I will go into some more advanced certain things that I've done, because not all of my voices have a canon voice to try and mimic. I'll talk about how I figure the headcanon ones in another video, like say Sans or Papyrus or someone like that. But for the basic ones, like something that has a voice like Mario, Luigi, Deku from My Hero Academia, heck, even like the Grim Reaper from Billy and Mandy. Just watch and like try to put yourself into the character and practice. Practice, practice, practice. And I hope you've enjoyed this. And I will see you Wednesday.